Test, test, test. Can you hear me now? I think my mic was, something was wrong with my settings on my mic. But, alright, so we're here now. Everything's looking good, I think. Anybody hear me? Alright. Alright, cool. So, here's what we're going to do. I have set up kind of like a little schedule of how I want to do things on these lives. And so on Mondays, thank you, Miguel. On Mondays, what I want to start out doing is looking at how the broader markets performed on an hourly basis for Monday, and also kind of review how they're looking on the daily charts. And then once we get later on in the week, we will dive a little bit deeper onto some bigger time frames. But on Mondays, we will just start with the dailies and the hourly. So I know that on the last live we talked about Friday and how I was still bullish. Well, this morning, futures looked really good, when they opened up last night. They looked, fairly good going into the morning. We opened up, we had a nice gap on SPX, and we went up and we almost tested that 3,700. We got to 36.97.61. And then at that point, we proceeded to give it back, as you can see right here on the 15-minute chart. So we came up here and we almost got to the 700 area, but it just wasn't going to happen today. We ended up giving it back, come down here, and then we proceeded to close the gap, and then we just kept on coming down here. This does kind of hinders my bullishness a little bit because I was really hoping for a gap and go this morning, especially the way that futures looked and the way that we opened up and all that. So it kind of sucked, to sit here and watch this sell off. One thing I want to note is that if you look, so trend, if you look down here at trend was indicating lots of selling into this gap. So, as soon as we gapped open this morning, there was lots of people covering positions, whatever it was, there's people selling into this strength. And I seen that early on, and it was kind of concerning, and it kind of took shape, and there we went today. But overall, we're still above that 20 SMA, and we're also above that 36.27.17 level that I talked about on Friday. And as long as we're above that, then I'm going to stay bullish for the short term. But I'm kind of disappointed in today's price action. As you can see on the hourly, we had a nice gap here, and we pushed up above the 50 off the hourly, and immediately just gave it all back. We didn't even turn the 50 into support. It looks like we kind of tried to turn that 20 into support, and then at the close we just dumped it all. So as you can see on that 36.27.17 level that I have noted and talking about, that's a gap to fill, and we're getting pretty close to filling it. And if we if we lose that, then obviously immediately there's a 200 on the hourly right there, and then even further gap down here at 35.80 that we'll probably more than likely fill. So we'll just have to come back to that if we cross below this price level here. But like I said, as of right now, still remaining fairly bullish going into the end of December. Maybe we get a little bit of chop and slop down here in this zone. Maybe we go back to test this bottom and just kind of chop around this week, and we get a Santa rally next week. I don't know. We'll just have to see what this week brings. But I mean, we could have done better today, in my opinion. But it's all right, So some trades that I have on, and some trades that will look good for anybody that might want to look into them. I have one on in AMD, actually, and AMD was really nice to me today. I wish it would have closed over the 95, but it didn't. But it looks like in after hours here we are back above that 95 and doing pretty well. I want AMD at $100 is where I want it at, and that's I'm going to start trying to take some profits at about $100. So I am bullish on AMD if anybody is watching that. It came down here and I held through this. I had my trade on already. I think I put my trade on right around here, and I came and held through this little pullback here just to see if we would bounce off this 20, and sure enough we did. And looks like we are starting to break out pretty good. So the hourly, you can see here, you're about to have the cross on your 20 and your 50 here. We really need to clear this zone that it kind of topped out at, 95.35 area. We need to clear it. We need to back test it and turn it into support and then take off is what we need to do. And like I said, after hours we're above it. We'll see if that holds overnight. I don't know. But AMD is looking good. I do like AMD. So if you guys want to take a peek at it. I also like Microsoft here. Microsoft was looking really good earlier in the day whenever we was up above 215. It kind of gave a little bit back, but that's kind of expected. That's kind of expected with the way that the market's acted. So I'm not too concerned, but I think that Microsoft is getting primed up. It's cooling up. It's ready to make some moves, and I like that it's over the closed over these SMAs. I wish it would have closed over 215. I'm still in my trade. It expires this week. I opened it up today. It's just a regular call debit spread, vertical spread, whatever you want to call it, and my long leg's in the money and my short leg is sitting up here at 217.50, I think is what I went with. So I'm hoping that we can push up here to 220 this week. Like I said, it all depends on the general markets. But one thing to take note of is that, yes, while the S&P 500 gave a lot back, the NASDAQ it held up really well. It did not close its gap. It held its gap, and it still closed up 0.7%. This 12,500 level, it's going to be pretty intense in my opinion. For us to we're going to need to clear that. I'm sure that there's a lot of action here, a lot of trading going on at this 12,500, and we're going to have to get past that for sure. And now, you can coincide that with the S&P 500 at 3,700. I mean, whatever you want to do, but the Nasdaq, it outperformed all the other ones today, and it still looks pretty good. So, like I was talking about last week, tech needs to really catch this bid. And Amazon, I opened up an in the money call debit spread on Amazon today, and I sold some longer term put credit spreads. It's the same old story with Amazon that it was with the other ones that I talked about. I wish that it would have done a little bit better on the close today, but we still closed up 1.3%, and that's good. That's good. So we're seeing tech start to get a bid again, and that's good for the overall markets. Same with Netflix. My Netflix trade did really well today, and I actually booked profits on half the position on this push. I hope that we can keep pushing. Maybe we come back down here and test this 515 area maybe and turn it to support before we push a little bit more to 525 and ultimately, back up here to 530, 535. But we'll see how it goes. I still have a little time left on those, but it's looking good for anybody who wants to catch a trade when it comes back down and meets up with this 20, because it looks like it could pull back a little bit, at least to 515, 516 before proceeding higher. So I would like to mention while we're here, we did some changes on the website, and so basically whenever you go to the website now, this is where you land, and so you just put in your little nickname, and it will open up a webinar for you that I put on. It's about 30 minutes long. I put this webinar on here a while back, and so it's here on the landing page for you to view if you would like to. And if you come down here, there's a section where you do your email, your first name, and your last name, and you click Get Free Access Now. What this does is it'll take you to my options trading course, educational course. And when you get there, there's a variety of lessons that you can watch, take notes on, maybe learn something. We go over basic lingo, go over some of the Greeks and how options perform, different strategies that you can utilize on your trading, and just a bunch of different stuff. It's really good, and that's free for everybody. I built that so that people could take part in that, maybe help them out, and maybe learn something, because we're all here to make money, and that's what it's about right there. So that's something for you all to check out if you want to. OPNT, we will take a look at it real quick and see what is going on with it. Viewer requests for that. So OPNT. OPNT. It's been in a downtrend for a long time, hasn't it? Let's see here. Yeah, it's been... Interesting. So this thing has been really downtrending for a long time. I don't know what, that's a pharmaceutical company. Okay, that explains a lot. Let's see here. Dang, they're up. They're up in the after hours, aren't they? Trying to announce an additional commitment to advance. What is this about? Funding. So this one right here, you can play this. but I want to warn you, I would not get married to this, because you'll get tossed around. If you can see this hourly start to break out, you can catch a quick trade to maybe back up here. But I would not. I would be very careful on. I'd be very careful in playing this, because right here at 9 is going to be your next resistance level. 9 to 920, it looks like. That'll be your next resistance level, and I don't know. This could turn into a sell the news if we don't hold above this 11 that we're at after hours. Now, for the next, if we hold above 11, then your next resistance is probably going to be somewhere around 13 and a half up to probably 14 and a half will be a good target. So if we look at this daily chart and we open up tomorrow with a gap, and it's a gap and go, it don't sell off and retrace a whole lot, yeah, I would day trade this, because it will probably move pretty good. Just be very careful on getting married to it, because I wouldn't put this in an investment portfolio, that's for sure. Is there any other requests for charts that anybody wants to look at? This is your time to request anything. We went over the broader markets, S&P 500 and NDX, what I'm kind of looking at going into this week. We talked about a couple trades that I got on that could potentially benefit anyone. So does anybody have any requests at all? Alright, so like I said, don't be afraid to check out the website. You know, watch the webinar, check out the free educational content. That's for you all. That's for everybody to. I just, you know, maybe somebody can learn something and make $1 or $2 off of that. I don't know. It'll be good if so. As always, if you have any questions, then please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach me from the website, actually, and if you go down here, I think it's down here. So here's our contact information. You can reach out on Facebook if you want to. You can email, and you'll get a response, and we'll answer your questions to the best of our ability. I will probably go live again on Wednesday after the market close, maybe around the same time. If it needs to be a little bit later, then we can definitely push it back a little bit later, let people have a chance to get home and unwind for a minute, whatever you got going on. But yeah, hope everybody enjoyed this live session today, and like I said, if you need anything, then just reach out to me. Thank you.